For my service learning project, I had the opportunity to do multiple different things. I got to hang sticky notes on the mirrors throughout my dorm. I also got to decorate clothes, and finally I made homeless bags with cards for them. At first, my original service learning site did not reach back to me, but then I learned about the alternative assignment. I thought that this would fit me much better because it was flexible in my schedule and I knew I could still make a difference in my community. I'm also very indecisive sometimes, so this allowed me to do multiple things I wanted to do. I've been able to take something from each lesson in class and apply it to my service. There is always something beneficial you can learn. Throughout all of my service assignments, I've been able to bring up the gospel and God. It is a major thing in my life, and this really helped me put God first. I was able to share my faith with a few people and give them some love and hope they needed. This gave me my spiritual fulfillment. I was very confused on where to start. My service site did not contact me back, and now I had to start from scratch. I saw this on Pinterest once, and I looked to see if it was on dosomething.org. Sure enough, it was. I searched for all different types of messages and Bible verses that I thought would encourage these girls in my dorm. I spent hours writing, decorating each note with drawings and special fonts. Then I went out to the mirror. I decorated it like 5 different times to make sure it was still a usable mirror where the girls could see everything and take pictures. I believe this form of service exists because constantly men and women are dealing with extreme anxiety and insecurities. One of the root problems is social media. People constantly feel like they are not good enough and not attractive enough because we place unrealistic expectations on ourselves. I feel like this assignment shows otherwise. This service activity gave me the ability to improve my social understanding. I had to write notes that would actually make someone feel better or would be positive to them. I spent a lot of time researching what to write to make sure they were genuine and not too cheesy. I had to understand who I was writing these notes to and what they would be going through at that time. I did this at the beginning of the semester and they are still up. I was extremely surprised by how much people enjoyed my mirror sticky notes. I tried really hard to make it cute and colorful, but I was nervous people would think it's cheesy or that they would be upset if I wrote down some Bible verses. Everyone loved it and took pictures in it. People also started to add their own sayings and Bible verses. It really brought a smile to my face, even though it was a small gesture everyone really seemed to enjoy. The Myers-Briggs test discussion board really helped me with this activity. I was able to use my personality type, reliable realist. I'm a very organized person, so designing my sticky notes and cards was easy and fun for me to do. I was also able to set reasonable goals to accomplish everything I needed to do. For my next service learning assignment, I feel like donating clothes and necessities to people really helps someone boost their mental and emotional well-being along with their physical well-being. Oftentimes we take for granted what we have for this project, and it allowed me to see the other side of it. I drove to Knoxville for our biannual Duck Duck Goose consignment sale. We sorted all of our rooms throughout the house to find clothes and items to sell. We have to sort, tag, label, and price each item. After we did that, we took it to the site to be sold. At the end of the sale, all the items that were left over were donated to a local charity for them to give to people in need. Once we got our check, we did something a little different this time. 75% of the money we donated to a shelter for food, and the other 25% we kept to buy supplies for care bags. I submitted this to dosomething.org and got certified for it. This is my certification, and they gave me 4 hours for the sorting of clothes and donating. This is also a picture of my 2 things submitted to dosomething.org, the mirror messages and then the clothes donations. For the care bags, I never truly understood homelessness. I always thought it was due to laziness, but I quickly found out that this is not true. I learned that there are so many different ways that homelessness can occur due to lack of affordability, housing, abuse, and unemployment. The video we watched in class called The Line really made a difference for me. It changed my mindset on the homeless community. I really thought that the majority of them just did not want to do the work, and this is not the case. It showed me real examples of people who needed help. There are just so many things we take for granted and forget about. Our world can lack sympathy sometimes for those in need and when people are at their lowest. I was able to gain knowledge through my homeless care bags. I pursued intellectual knowledge to see what the truth was. People are truly struggling. It does widen your perspective to sit down and try to help in any way you can. This assignment also required me to be knowledgeable about the community I was helping. There are over 1,000 people facing homelessness in Knoxville alone. More than 30% of them are unsheltered. I needed to know what they needed and where they would be. Additionally, over $10 billion is donated annually to fund people already experiencing homelessness through federal funding programs. I feel like there could be more money donated, but overall, I do feel like there is a lot of effort to aid the homeless. Communities have also built shelters for them and have found ways to raise money to provide food, clothing, and shelters. If there is extra funding available, I believe there could be more shelters put in place and more food provided to people. For my project itself, we had almost $200 to buy hygiene items, snacks, Ziploc bags, and gift cards. We made about 5 bags because we wanted to do bigger gift cards. For one of the bags, I gave it to a guy outside of Taco Bell. He was sitting there with a sign asking if anyone could help. I brought my mom with me to buy a gift card real quick, and we went over to him. He was a younger guy, and I handed him the bag, and he broke out into tears. He told me how grateful he was because he can get some food. He had not eaten in 2 days. He recently lost his job, and his apartment kicked him out because he could not afford rent. It really broke my heart because he was unable to have transportation to get to his job, so he couldn't keep his job. I never really thought about how much a difference this made until then. I was also really nervous to go out and talk to the homeless people because some can be extremely dangerous, but I made it not so bad. I brought a family member with me and helped during the day. I did it during the safest times and locations. I also feel like people just give the bag of money and run. I got to talk to them, even if it was just for a minute. I got to hear their story and was able to help them, even if it was just something small. I would try to get more funding and ask for more donations if I did this assignment again, because there was a lot of people already willing to help. In the future, especially during the holidays, I can practice this to do some good in my community. People can easily help by donating, taking bottles after hotel stays to donate, buying gift cards, or giving food. So my key takeaways is because of service learning, I am more knowledgeable about people's needs and what truly can help them, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, or physically. In the future, when I have some money, I will give out bags in my free time and during the holidays. I also want to make kid care bags for Christmas. I've seen so many people make kid care bags with clothes, foods, and toys. One of my best friends was in foster care, and every year we would be her Santa to make sure she had something under the Christmas tree. I had an aha moment when realizing I could share my faith with others this way. I never really put the two together. I believe the Bible has so much good advice and quotes whether you're a Christian or not. There's so much about spreading love and kindness. I now can think about how to apply it in my everyday life. I've also learned that 1, a little kindness can go farther than you think. 2, everyone has a story. And then 3, you can learn from people in the strangest ways. Talking to them is one way that I really found beneficial. There's a lot of things that also surprised me. For myself, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed service learning. I needed this class as a filler or like an elective class, but it turned out to be one of my favorites. I'm not usually a very empathetic person, but this allowed me to practice being a little more empathetic towards others. I'm surprised about in my community how some little act of kindness can mean so much to someone. For some people, the card I wrote was their favorite thing. At the end of the day, we are all people and we need a little love and kindness. And I was also surprised by the course, by how much the daily check-ins helped. In a lot of my classes, they don't even know your name, and I don't even know my peers. But in this one, I knew you, and I knew who I was working with. I really think, at the end of the day, do not judge a book by its cover. You need to be cautious of your surroundings, but when you can, try to help someone. You never know what they're actually going through until you talk to them. Even then, you might not even know the whole story. Thank you.